So, I'm finally caught up with One Piece. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Giving One Piece a chance was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I got into One Piece, some stuff I liked, some stuff I didn't, and just other random stuff about One Piece. Alright, let's just start from the top. What did I know about One Piece? I didn't really know anything except for two things. Second gear and the stance for second gear. I didn't know what that meant, what it looked like, who says it. I didn't know any of that. But yeah, I've heard of One Piece. Who hasn't heard of One Piece? I just never checked it out. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I even knew the show was about pirates. Alright, so what did I think One Piece was about before watching it? So there's actually a little story to this, so my first look at One Piece was through the Netflix live action adaptation. I saw my cousin watching it and I said, huh, so it's about pirates. I caught the part where they show Buggy's bounty and for some reason that was really interesting to me. So from that point, I actually thought One Piece was about collecting bounties, you know, since they're pirates. And there'll be someone with a really big bounty and they'll be like, let's go get him. And I was like, that actually sounds pretty cool. I go ask my cousin, who by the way is a really huge One Piece fan. I go, hey, is One Piece mainly about collecting bounties? If so, that actually sounds really cool. They said no, that's not the point of One Piece. I'm not gonna lie, when they said no, that kind of killed my interest for the show. Because that was the main thing I found interesting. If the show's not about collecting bounties, why would I watch it, you know? Like a week passes after that and I randomly give One Piece a chance. Why not? If I don't like it, I'll just turn it off. I'm gonna be completely honest. Right from the start, the opening got me hooked. You hear the narrator talking about Gold Roger and how he was the king of the pirates. Then you hear Roger's little speech talking about, you want my treasure? You can have it. After that, you see all the ships going out to sea. All that, plus the music, man, it's too good. It honestly got me really excited for some reason. And I'm sure I've heard We Are before, so it wasn't my first time hearing it, but that was so long ago. But yeah, just from the opening, I was really excited to watch episode 1. So I'm watching it, right? And I'm like, wait, this is actually really good. I'm sure a lot of people experienced this or felt this feeling their first time watching One Piece. As I was watching the first episode, the show has so much charm, charisma, appeal, whatever you want to call it. It literally pulled me into the show, which was weird because like a month before watching One Piece, I actually tried watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've always heard and read people speak very highly of JoJo's, so I gave it a chance. When watching JoJo's, I didn't get that feeling. You know what I'm talking about, that feeling that this is something I wanted to continue watching. But yeah, I was honestly worried about that before watching One Piece actually, because it was kind of the same situation as JoJo's. One Piece is a show that people really hype up, and I was like, uh-oh. But no, it was the exact opposite. I loved it immediately. And from that point on, I kept watching One Piece. So at this part of the video, I'm actually going to be explaining how I watched One Piece because there's a long story to that. It was a whole journey. All the way from episode 1 to the most recent chapter. Alright, so I started watching One Piece through Netflix and this was back in mid-September or October of last year. At that time on Netflix, they had episode 1 through episode 421. Which officially the name of the arc is called Amazon Lily, but on Netflix they actually call it Island of Women. But yeah, this was back in 2023, so if you check right now, Netflix actually added more arcs, such as Impel Down, Marineford, and Egghead. Yeah, in that order. Netflix is missing so much stuff like Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Zoe, Whole Cake Island, Reverie, Wano, all that. And I don't know how long it's going to take Netflix to get the rights to add more arcs, but yeah. So at that point, that's it, I'm done. I can't watch any more One Piece on Netflix. And you're probably thinking, just go to Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is all the episodes. But no, I don't do that and I actually go to Hulu. So from there, I just pick up where I left off on Hulu. Hulu actually has more episodes than Netflix. Hulu has all the episodes up to the ending of Punk Hazard, which is episode 628. But if you check right now, they actually added Dressrosa. And right now, you're probably thinking, why didn't I just watch it on Crunchyroll? Crunchyroll is all the episodes. Why is he jumping through all these hoops just to watch One Piece when you can literally just go to Crunchyroll and watch it all there? Some of you might click off the video because of this, but the reason I didn't go to Crunchyroll is because I actually watched it dubbed. But before you leave, let me explain myself. The dub for One Piece isn't bad. It's actually pretty good. Everybody sounds how they look. Personally, the way I judge a good dub is, if they sound how they look, then it's fine. Does that make sense? For every show that I watch, I will always try the dub first. If the dub is good, I'll watch it dubbed, but if it's not, I'll just switch. It's not a big deal. But yeah, like I said, the One Piece dub is actually really good, except for 3 characters. Throughout the whole show, you know, 1,000 episodes, all these characters, animals, all them talking, for me, there was only 3 characters that didn't really sound that good. And those 3 were Virgo, Kiku, and sometimes Jinbei. Virgo and Kiku weren't necessarily bad, like I could still listen to it, but I just felt they didn't really sound how they looked. And the reason why I say sometimes Jinbei is because one episode it sounds like Jinbei, like the voice I'm used to hearing, and then the next episode it sounds like someone trying to do the Jinbei voice, if that makes sense. I don't know why there's always such a big controversy between dub and sub. Like, the stuff I've read people say about One Piece dub is insane. Like, it's not that bad. It's not even bad, it's good. But yeah, overall, everyone sounds pretty good. Okay, so after watching One Piece on Netflix and Hulu, I have to go to Crunchyroll now. So I'm watching One Piece on Crunchyroll, right? And at the time, I'm all the way up to Wano. And for some reason, it switches from dub to sub. And I'm like, that was weird. Why'd they do that? I go to the little gear icon to check maybe it bugged or something. And I find out there's no dub. The dub isn't here yet. So I sat there for a minute thinking, what should I do? Should I tough it out and wait for the dub, or should I just switch to sub? I said, nah, no biggie. I'll just wait for the dub. How long could that possibly take? Turns out, it takes 5 to 7 weeks to get 11 new dub episodes. By the way, if anybody cares, this new batch coming up, we're actually gonna get 5th year dubbed, which is pretty cool, but yeah, anyways. I couldn't wait that long. I was actually having this battle with myself where I was thinking, should I wait for the dub or should I switch to sub to continue watching One Piece? I want you to put yourself in my shoes for a minute. At that point, I've been watching 1,000+ episodes in dub with these voices I'm so used to and I really love. And if I want to continue watching One Piece, I have to read subtitles and get used to these new voices. So I switched. At first, it was a little weird having to read subtitles and hearing these new voices, but after a while, it felt normal. The only thing I had trouble with when I switched to sub was I couldn't really figure out who was talking. Like, if the character wasn't on screen talking, I didn't know who said what. But I guess that's because I'm still not used to the voices yet. And that's where the anime ended at the time. Episode 1088, Luffy's Dream. Egghead wasn't a thing yet. Like I keep saying, to continue the story of One Piece, I have to read the manga, which was another weird thing for me. I've actually never read manga before, so I had to look up a YouTube tutorial on how to read manga because it was kind of confusing at first. Because before the YouTube tutorial, I actually tried reading it by myself, and for like a split second, I forgot that you had to read it from right to left. So there's that. And the thing that tripped me up was I couldn't really figure out which order to read it in. I'll actually show the page right now. Alright, so right here is when I got confused. So obviously you go right to left, right? So you read all this. And like right here, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Right here, right? But right here is when I got confused. Right here's when I got confused. So you read this, right? So I'm thinking you go from right to left. Right to left. So I'm like, okay, like that, and then like that. But no, that doesn't make sense, right? So I'm like, okay, I just go down. And what do you do right here? This is what I was really confused about. Like, do you go from here to here? Or here, here, here? Or what? Cause like, I figured out this was the last one. This one right here. Cause it's the biggest, right? But right here's where I got tripped up. Like, I really couldn't figure it out. It was really confusing at the time. But I got it. I think the order is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's how it goes, but yeah. Anyways, back to the other thing. But yeah, the YouTube tutorial really helped. After that video, I pretty much understood how the flow went. So to get used to reading manga, I actually read chapter 1060, which is Luffy's Dream, the same episode where the anime ended. And as I was reading chapter 1060, I was like, wait, this is what I just watched. So reading the same chapter and watching the same episode really helped me get the feel for manga. And just like the subs, I got used to reading the manga and I actually prefer it over watching it. If I could do it all over again, I would read it from the start. By the way, when I first started reading the manga, I couldn't believe how far ahead the manga was compared to the anime. Like, the anime only watchers are really behind. And I know that the manga is always going to be ahead of the anime, right? But the gap is still crazy. In the manga, we're about to leave Egghead, and in the anime, it's still early Egghead. And I could see how that could be annoying, because if you only watch the anime, you for sure got 5th year spoiled to you. Which sucks, but yeah. That moment was way too big to ignore or block out completely. You had to have heard something about 5th year or year 5. There was just no way. I wasn't around at the time, but I'm sure it was crazy. It kinda reminded me of Tournament of Power. And that was a really huge thing, so I imagine that was the same thing for One Piece. Even I heard about it and I wasn't even in that sphere yet. But yeah, that's it. That's my journey. That's how I caught up with One Piece. I caught up mid-January, and the chapter at the time was either 1102 or 1103. And between chapters 1103 and 1104, there was like a pretty big break. I would say like a 2-week break. And I got to read chapter 1104 with everyone, which was pretty cool. I want to talk a little bit about finally being caught up and what that experience felt like. Because it was a long journey, right? Like, well, for everyone else, it was really long, but for me, it was like 4 months, but still. There were so many funny things that happened when I finally got to read chapter 1104 with everyone. Because I was really new and I didn't know how things worked. Okay, so I was really new, right? And I was like, when do chapters come out? What day do they come out? What time? I was thinking all that. I was like, man, how am I gonna find this out? So I go to Twitter, right? Because I'm like, okay, there has to be an account or somebody that updates everyone on when a new chapter comes out. So I was like, okay, I'll just go to Twitter and find that person. I found it, so that's that part. The account I found was PewPiece, by the way, on Twitter, if anybody's also new like me. And something else that caught me by surprise was One Piece leaks. I was thinking, man, how do leaks even happen? I don't really know how people feel about leaks. I personally like them. I don't know. How do people feel about leaks? I like them. If you spoil someone, then no, that's not cool. But, you know, if everybody's there for the leaks, then it's fine. But yeah, I was thinking, how do leaks even happen? And I eventually found out, right? I'll try to explain it the best way I can. Let's say there's like a store like 7-Eleven, right? Pretty much, like 7-Eleven in Japan, right? 7-Eleven in Japan, but not 7-Eleven. Like a convenience store. And in the store, like the store owners, they get it first. The leakers pay like a fee to get the leaks early from the store owner. So that's how it happens, and then it gets translated to English, and then that's how we get it. That's basically how I understood it. And recently one of the big One Piece translators got busted, and they actually went to jail, I think. Maybe. I forgot. I forgot the story. OP Scans got busted, and that scared TCB Scans, and even to this day, TCB Scans is still private on Twitter, so they're still scared. And yeah, I hope I explained that well enough. And before all this happened, the unofficial chapters came out way earlier. I'm talking about, we will get the chapter Wednesday, and now we get it like Thursday and maybe even Friday. I really miss the old schedule. My first time reading the leaks, I thought it was so cool because, you know, I know it's gonna happen early, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so one funny thing that did happen, you remember when I said I went to Twitter to find One Piece stuff, right? So I was going through the comments, right? And I see this panel, and it's Sanji versus Kizaru, and they're like talking and everything. And I'm like, when does this happen? I didn't see this in the last chapter. How are people getting this? I said, no, I can't believe I got spoiled. I went all this time without getting spoiled, and I got spoiled by Twitter comments. I was like, oh my god, no way. How did this happen? And this specific panel actually looked believable. And it kind of makes sense because Sanji blocks Kizaru's attack, right? And then I guess you could like assume that they're gonna fight or something like that, right? So that's why it was so believable. And I was like, man, how do these people even know this? Do the leakers know that much? I said, let's just say for example, the chapter that everyone's on was 1020, right? For example, right? It's 1020. And you know, like usual leakers, they know what's gonna happen on 1021. And what I thought I saw was leaks for chapter 1023. I thought it was that far ahead. I was kind of mad for like a second because I thought I got spoiled. But it turns out people can make fan-made panels. Is that even the right term? Panels? Whatever. But I eventually started seeing the really fake ones. Like, you know what? I'll actually show some right now. Okay, so this one is obviously fake, right? It's Vista. It's Vista versus Kaido versus Whitebeard and Roger. right? This one's funny and it's fake. But you'd be surprised at how good some of these fakes are. Some of them are put well together. They're good enough to trick someone that's not caught up yet. Cause if you're avoiding spoilers, you see this panel, like a really good panel, you might think to yourself, oh, I just saw spoilers, and you look away, and then in your mind you're thinking, man, did I just watch spoilers? Or did I just see spoilers? For some reason, I thought every manga panel that I saw was real, and it never crossed my mind that some of them would be fake. But like I said, I was new to the game, so I didn't know, but I know now. But yeah, it was really exciting getting to read chapter 1104 with everyone, because it was this whole journey and you're finally there with everyone. And you can talk to people and see what the streets are saying about the new chapter. It's a good day when a chapter comes out because people are really excited, they're making theories, they're talking about, oh, what's gonna happen next episode. It's just a cool feeling. Another thing about Twitter is, I don't know how everyone else feels about, how do you say it? Like, One Piece, like Twitter culture? Is that how you say it? I don't know. I think it's pretty funny. Like, people calling characters frauds. I remember people were calling Zoro a fraud because he was still fighting Lucci. And I was like, you know, what? But yeah, that was pretty funny. I don't know how everyone feels about that side of One Piece, like agendas and everything. I think it's kind of dumb, but it's funny at the same time. I think it's really cool that people will fight and defend their favorite character. Like, oh, this is why this character is better than this character. I could see how it could be annoying, but it's kind of cool. People really get into arguments about why Sanji's better than Zoro, and you know, it's just dumb. But the best thing about being caught up with One Piece would have to be being able to watch videos about One Piece without the fear of being spoiled. Especially theory videos, because I think those are the coolest. And these One Piece theory videos, man, they can get really complex. I'll say layered. They can get really layered, and to someone new to that side of One Piece, it can get really confusing. It confused me at least. Like, they're doing callbacks to their other videos and how this connects to that, and how this will happen because that happened, and it's just confusing. Even when you think you're caught up, you're like, oh, I'm all the way up to here, so I should be able to at least watch this video, right? You can't, because you will get spoiled. That actually happened to me, because when I finished Wano, I was like, okay, I can watch videos now. So I go to YouTube and I put One Piece theories, right? And the first thing I see is Garp on the floor bleeding out. And I'm like, oh my, what is that? So that's when I realized you have to be 100% caught up all the way. And even when you try to watch videos, a lot of them will have a disclaimer in the beginning saying, oh, spoilers up to this chapter, like as a warning. But yeah, you just have to be caught up. But now that I'm caught up, I can watch whatever video I want, and it's a cool feeling. It's not just being caught up with One Piece, it's anything really. Like a movie series, video game series, anime, it doesn't really matter. To be honest, that's my favorite part of being caught up with anything, because you get to see other people's perspective on the same thing you just watched or read. Like, one person's favorite arc could be another person's least favorite arc, and I just think that's really cool. Alright, so I'm finally going to be talking about what happens in One Piece. More specific stuff like my favorite character, my favorite arc, all that stuff. This part of the video is going to be a little bit more rambly, jumpy, all over the place, so I apologize if it sounds weird, but let's get started. Expectations and hopes for One Piece. In the beginning of One Piece, Shanks gives Luffy the straw hat, and Shanks says, I want you to give me this hat back when you become a great pirate, and how this hat really means a lot to him and everything, right? That's easily one of the best and most memorable moments in One Piece. And I was thinking, man, when Shanks and Luffy finally meet up, that moment's gonna be so special and cathartic. You like that word? Anyways, so I thought to myself, when Shanks and Luffy meet up, it's gonna be a really big moment. And they wouldn't meet up soon because Luffy still has to become a great pirate. So I was like, they have to meet up way later. And I knew One Piece was 1,000 episodes, right? So with that information, I was thinking, okay, they'll probably meet up around episode 800, 900, somewhere around there, right? And as you know, they still haven't met up. But yeah, I just thought that was really funny because I genuinely thought they were going to meet up already. But it hasn't happened yet, so we're still waiting. Alright, the next thing is fights with certain people. In the beginning of One Piece, the warlord system gets introduced, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. There are 7 pirates so strong that the government works with them. And I was thinking, what do they look like? How strong are they? All this stuff, right? Because at first, they show my silhouettes, and I was thinking, man, when are we going to see them? Then Mihawk shows up at the Baratie and he's one of the 7 warlords, and he looks cool and everything. Luffy doesn't fight Mihawk, but Zoro does. And I was thinking, when is Luffy gonna fight a warlord? Because he has to fight one eventually. And you actually get it pretty soon in Alabasta with Crocodile. So seeing Mihawk and Crocodile so early made me believe that the Shanks and Luffy meetup was gonna happen sooner than expected. I don't know why, but yeah. Yeah, and just overall fights with other stronger people, like the other warlords, the emperors, and the admirals. And those fights eventually happen, but you gotta wait a minute. Luffy versus Kaido, and I guess an egghead is Luffy versus Kizaru. Favorite arc? My favorite arc would have to be Water 7. I personally think Water 7's the best. I think that's a really popular answer when people are asked what's their favorite arc. I always read how when people watch Water 7 or they read Water 7, that's when it clicks for a lot of people and they get hooked on One Piece. It's a very common thing, like I always see that. I don't know, just Water 7 just does it for a lot of people. And I also think Water 7, Enies Lobby, CP9, all that, I consider that all Water 7. That's all one arc for me. And I guess arc's not the right word. I guess the right word would be saga, but I'm gonna just call it arc. It's all Water 7 to me. Okay, so I'm just looking at it now and I'm confused. Because on Netflix, it's Water 7, Enies Lobby, CP9, Goodbye Going Merry. I don't know why they do that. It's categorized in 4 different sections. And on Crunchyroll, it's just Water 7. Like other people, I see other people saying Water 7, Enies Lobby. So, I don't know. I'm gonna just call it all Water 7. It's all Water 7 to me. Water 7 in general just looks really cool. Like the whole setting and everything, and how there's canals and all this stuff, and how pirates go there to fix their ship. It's just really cool. When they first go to Water 7, they're in need of a shipwright. And I was thinking, okay, this is gonna be the One Piece formula, the way the other arcs have been structured, where they go to a new island, someone needs help, Luffy beats the bad guy, new crew member, and that's it. Next island. So that was the mindset I had going into Water 7. And pretty early, you meet Frankie. And I was thinking, okay, this guy's a shipwright. It's so obvious he's a shipwright. But Frankie and the Frankie family beat up Usopp. Frankie takes their 200 million berries and he fights Luffy. So I'm like, okay, this guy's not the shipwright. But then turns out he is the shipwright. But it really tricked me because I was thinking, why is Frankie acting like this, right? Like, why did he do that to Usopp? Why did he take their money? So I was thinking, when they show Frankie's backstory, they're gonna show that pirates killed his family. So he hates pirates now, right? And he calls these people his family because he doesn't have family anymore. That's what I was thinking they were gonna show for his flashback. And I'm glad I was wrong because that sounds so bad. And it was just weird having Frankie as the bad guy because it just felt weird. He didn't really feel like a bad character, like someone that was evil. And then after that, you get the stuff with Usopp. He's crying because he couldn't protect the money and everything. Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro, Chopper, they go to the Frankie family house. I thought that part was really cool. Everyone did their thing. Then you get the part where they're told that the Going Merry isn't going to survive another trip. And everyone's shocked because the Going Merry's been with them this whole time. And it's like another crew member pretty much. And they're told no matter what they do, they can't fix the ship. And then Luffy's like, okay, we'll just get a new ship. Well, he wasn't that nonchalant about letting go of the Going Merry. He was actually fighting to keep the Going Merry and get it repaired. Luffy's like, we got the money, so what's the deal? And the shipwrights explain that money's not the issue. The issue is that it's literally impossible to be fixed. Then he's like, okay, just make me a new Going Merry. And they say that's impossible too. At the end of the day, Luffy loves the Going Merry as much as anybody else. But as the captain, he has to make a decision. He understands and he says, okay, we need a new ship. And then Usopp's like, what? What are you talking about? We have to keep the Going Merry. Usopp hates Luffy's decision so much that he leaves the crew and he challenges Luffy to a duel for the Going Merry. And they actually fight, like for real fight. I really like the part where Chopper walks through the door and he's like, I wanted to treat Usopp's wounds even though we're not crewmates anymore. And then he says like Usopp told him, he pretty much told him, get away. Like, we're not friends anymore. And Chopper's crying, oh my god. Let's talk about the fight for a little bit because it was a real fight. I thought it was either going to be a quick fight where Luffy does Gum Gum Pistol to Usopp and that's it, or a joke fight where they're not really serious and they just apologize to each other. And when I first watched the fight, Usopp used Ketchup Star, Pepper Star, and Egg Star, and I was like, okay, this isn't a serious fight. Even Luffy said, come on, get serious. After that, Usopp starts using spikes and shurikens, then he does the big explosion with the gas, and I was like, okay, this is a real fight. The part where I realized that Usopp isn't playing around was when he used the Impact Dao against Luffy. Like, Usopp is serious and he's trying to hurt Luffy, like actually trying to hurt him, so that he gets to keep the Going Merry. The fight ends with the Gum Gum Bullet and Luffy's like, you know what? You can keep the Going Merry. And they part ways. Like I said earlier, I thought this was either going to be a quick fight or a joke fight, but this was way more than I was expecting. Usopp put up a fight, but I think everyone knew that Luffy was going to win. That part was so good, but really sad at the same time, because you're not used to seeing them fight seriously with each other. There's just so much drama. You got Chopper running to check up on Usopp, Sanji holding Chopper back telling him no, do not help Usopp, Nami's crying, Luffy's crying, Usopp's on the ground. It was just so weird seeing all that. And it also felt real, like, this is it. Usopp's gone. And it never crossed my mind that someone would leave the crew. I just thought they were always going to be friends with each other forever and there'll be no drama, but you know, all this stuff happens with Usopp. So ever since they got to Water 7, Usopp left the crew, Robin is missing, and they're being blamed for Iceberg's attack. Like, it's rock bottom pretty much. All this stuff in Water 7. Speaking of Robin, I knew something was weird with her. When she joined the crew, it didn't feel official like the other members did. After all that stuff, she's missing for hours and days, and we find out that she's actually the one who shot Iceberg. Then you find out that Lucci and Kaku are bad guys and they work for the world government, and they've been undercover this whole time, and there was this whole ploy for years to get the blueprints for Pluton. I don't know if I'm dumb, and that twist was obvious, but I didn't expect it. I was genuinely surprised. I also thought that moment between Usopp and Frankie was nice, because Usopp's like, one night I heard something, I woke up and someone was fixing the ship, and that he heard him talk and all this stuff, right? Then he says, you probably think I'm crazy and you don't believe me. And Frankie says, I believe you. I know what you're talking about. Frankie tells Usopp that he saw a Klabautermon and how it's this really old legend that gets passed down among sailors. Basically, the ships have souls and the Going Merry felt that love and care that the Straw Hats gave it. And the Going Merry was gonna get them to their next destination no matter what. Like, it's breaking down and it's on its last legs, but the Going Merry was determined to get them to the next island safely. That's how much the Going Merry loved the Straw Hats. I just thought that was such a cool concept and it was just a really nice moment. I thought Frankie's backstory was one of the best, actually. I really liked that whole backstory with Tom and Iceberg. That's when you find out that Frankie's like a legendary shipwright and Iceberg too, right? The part I thought that was really cool about all that was Tom and how Tom was being put on trial because he built Roger's ship, the Oro Jackson. There's some Roger lore. Roger lore is always cool. And because Tom built Roger's ship, he's guilty by association, so he's sentenced to execution. And he's like, wait, before you kill me, I'm working on something. And that thing is the Sea Train. Tom pretty much saved Water 7. I just thought that was so cool. It was just really good and it's one of my favorite backstories in One Piece. You get some pretty cool fights with CP9. The second gear, that's pretty cool. That's the first time I saw it and I was like, okay, so that's what second gear is, right? The Going Merry funeral was one of the moments I cried. Not like, like ugly cry, but I teared up. As soon as Mary said, I'm sorry, that's when I started to tear up. Mary was on fire and she was saying that she was happy and she was thankful that they always treated her with love and, all that stuff. After the episode ended, I kind of sat there for a little bit thinking, man, I can't believe I just teared up over a ship. One Piece is crazy. But that's the thing, the Going Merry was more than just a ship. The bond that the Straw Hats had with the Going Merry was so powerful that when the crew was in trouble, she went to go help her friends. I said this earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. Mary was using the last bit of her strength to deliver the crew to safety, that as soon as the Galileo ship showed up, she snapped. The Going Merry pushed herself beyond her limits, all for the crew she loved. I think there was like 2 other times where I teared up, and that was when Chopper was begging Kirea to teach him how to be a doctor and how he's gonna be the all-curing medicine, and when cherry blossoms bloomed on Drum Island. That one was more like happy tears than sad tears. And now the 3rd time is the Going Merry funeral. I think it's the music that plays that really ties these moments together. But yeah, these were all touching scenes for me. I know for sure that I didn't do a lot of these moments in Water 7 justice and go into enough detail, or I just flat out missed some stuff. If I did, this video will be longer than it already is. But yeah, that's why Water 7 is my favorite arc and one of the best arcs in One Piece. When I look at other people's lists of what they think is the best arc or their favorite arc, I always see Water 7 rated really high, and it's cool that a lot of people can agree on that. My favorite character? I think my favorite character is going to be a little bit of a shock. Well, okay, let's do favorite Straw Hat, right? Favorite Straw Hat member, and then favorite character. My favorite Straw Hat is Chopper. I thought pre-time skip Chopper was really good. I made sure to say pre-time skip Chopper because you already know how. You already know. Let's just talk about pre-time skip for now. Chopper was so good. What do you call it? Winter Island, Drum Kingdom, whatever you want to call it. I've seen it called all these three, but let's just say Drum Island. That would have to be my second favorite arc. It's just so good. I really like Chopper's backstory. I'm sorry if I keep saying so good, but that's the best way I can describe it. The Chopper backstory was really sad, and you know, you just felt bad for him because the stuff with Dr. Haralook and Dr. Correa, all that stuff, it's just so good. You already know the part I'm talking about. The part when he's waving the flag, teach me how to be a doctor, teach me how to be a doctor. That with the music, oh my god. That had the tears rolling down. I'm not gonna lie. That part was so sad. And then, you know, just like him like being interested in being a pirate, and then him like, you know, like he wants to be a pirate, but he wants to have friends pretty much. And, you know, he wants to like explore and everything and be like Haralook, right? But like he's scared because he's a reindeer, and then, yeah, it's just so good. The part where he's like, just because I don't have friends doesn't mean I can't fight for something I believe in. That part was so good. Luffy's like, yes you do, or whatever he says. And then, yeah, it's just so good. That other part where he's like, where Luffy tells him, do you want to join? And then he's like, Chopper's like, I can't, but if you want to, you know, visit me sometime. And Luffy's like, shut up and let's go. That part's so good. The part where he tells Dr. Correa that he's leaving, and she's like, no you're not, you can't leave. And he's like, yes I am. And then he leaves, right? And he's feeling pretty sad because Dr. Correa taught him everything, right? And it was kind of like weird, right? Like seeing her that mad and chasing them around. They didn't even get to say goodbye. And Chopper's kind of sad, right? And then he turns around, you know, cherry blossoms everywhere. And then Chopper's crying. It's so good. Winter Island, Drum Kingdom, whatever. My second favorite arc. Alright. My favorite character, that has to go to Shanks. I don't know. Maybe that's like a common answer for everyone, but I really like Shanks. Like, everything Shanks represents is so cool. I really like the character. One of my favorite moments was when what's his name? Heguya? The bandits, pretty much, right? The bandits like break the bottle of alcohol on him, and then you think he's about to get up and fight them, right? But no, he laughs, right? And everyone laughs and all that. I thought the part was really cool. Luffy was like, why are you guys laughing? And he was calling them cowards and all this stuff. I just think Shanks is really cool. Okay, so now I'm actually gonna be talking about random stuff. Like, I'm gonna be all over the place, so I apologize if it sounds even more rambly than the other part, but yeah. Okay, death. Death was always something I never took seriously in One Piece. Like, let's actually bring out the list. Okay, so first, you got Kaya's butler, Mary. Like, Kuro kills him, right? Pretty much. And then a couple episodes later, he's fine. And, you know, okay, whatever. It's just Mary, right? Who cares? Oh, Pell. When Pell died, that's when, or died, in quotes, that's when I didn't take death seriously. It was a joke, pretty much, because I really thought he died, for sure. And I was like, okay, this guy died a noble death. He died for the greater good. You know, he saved all these people. He takes the bomb all the way to the sky and blows up, right? I'm like, okay, that was a good death. You know, it was for a good reason. And I'm pretty sure they show a gravestone with like Pell's name on it. And I'm like, okay, he's dead. And just like Mary, you see him a couple episodes later. And that's when I was like, okay, whatever. Like, he should have died. For sure, he should have died. There's so many people that die in One Piece. And again, I'm saying died or death, whatever, in quotes. So when Ace died, I didn't believe it. You know, like, that part didn't really hit me like it did like maybe other people. Because I was like, okay, there's going to be another Pell situation or a Mary situation. There's no way Ace is going to die. He's Luffy's brother. How can he die? And I was thinking all this when Akainu punched a hole in his chest. I was thinking all this, right? And I was like, okay, he's not dead. No way. And I'm not even a big Ace fan, right? I'm not even the biggest Ace fan. but I really thought he wasn't gonna die. But he did die. Same with Whitebeard. I'm like, oh my god. The Whitebeard death did hit me. Whitebeard's like my second favorite character. When they showed their gravestones, Ace and Whitebeard, I was like, okay, they died. But Ace's death probably would have hit me a lot harder if I didn't have this mindset. So when he died, I was like, okay, he's probably gonna come back, you know, later on, but he doesn't. Okay, time skip. Everyone probably agrees that pre-time skip is better, right? You know, there's just something about old One Piece that really sticks out. Like, even though I haven't even been watching One Piece that long, you know, for me, it's only been 4 months, but for everyone else, it's been years. And I could still appreciate old One Piece, like pre-time skip, East Blue, you know, all that. It's just something about how it looks that really sticks out. And the other day I watched an episode like in East Blue, and I was like, man, I forgot how good like old One Piece was, because it's been a while. And I was like, man, it's so good. It looks so good too. Chopper wasn't a joke. I'm just now realizing this, that people have probably been having this conversation for years, you know, like, oh, you know, pre-time skip's better than time skip. I'm just not realizing that. I'm super late, but yeah, pre-time skip's better. Alright, so characters. There's so many cool characters in One Piece. They sound cool, they look cool, they do cool stuff. I'm saying cool a lot, but they're just cool. Let's do like a little tier list. I'm not gonna rank all the characters, but I'm gonna rank my favorites. Alright, let's start. So, Shanks on top, S. Shanks just looks cool, right? I think everyone can agree. These are my favorites, by the way, so who else? Rayleigh looks cool too. I like Rayleigh. Where's Whitebeard? Oh, Garp. Garp is cool too. I'm just gonna put them all in S, right? This isn't in order. I'm just gonna put them all in S. Anybody I think, oh, Roger. Rogers looks cool. Blackbeard's cool. Where's Whitebeard? Oh, Kaido. Kaido looks really cool. Where's Whitebeard? I can't find Whitebeard. Whitebeard. Oh, right here. Oh, this is old Whitebeard, but I like Whitebeard. Whitebeard's my second favorite character of all time. Crocodile looks cool. Where's Doflamingo? Doflamingo might be my third favorite of all time. Doflamingo. Where are you? Oh, nah. I was gonna say Big Mom, but she's not that cool. She looks cool though. She looks cool. Where's Doflamingo? Oh, Arlong. Oh, he doesn't deserve to be up there, honestly, with those people. Where's Doflamingo? Am I blind? Oh, I'm blind. Okay, let's just go slow. Damn, they got everybody on here. Who's this? I've never seen this. Who is that? Do they not have Doflamingo? Oh my god, I'm blind. Van Augur also pretty cool. He looks cool. I don't see Doflamingo. I don't think he's on this list. I thought I saw him. The admirals look pretty cool too. Oh, what's his name? Vista? Basta? Vista? I think it's Vista. The admirals are cool. Kizaru, Fujitora. They look cool too. Vista? Is that his name? Vista? Let me check. Oh yeah, it's Vista. It's Vista. Okay. It is Vista. Vista's cool. Okay, where is Shanks? I mean, not Shanks. Where's Doflamingo? Okay, I'm gonna look really hard. Oh, what is this? Oh, right here. He's right here. Okay. Doflamingo is so cool. He's like the third coolest. Who else? There's so many cool characters in One Piece, and these are just some of my favorites. Oh, Beckman's cool too. Yeah, there's just so many cool characters. Anyways, I feel like all these characters, like, a lot of characters in One Piece look cool and they do cool stuff too. And I just feel like if I was like a One Piece hater, something I would have to give props to One Piece is their characters. Their characters are so good. Oh, I got a funny story. This was like 2 years ago. So I'm watching YouTube on my phone and this ad pops up. Guess what ad it is? It's a 5th Gear Luffy ad. And the ad's like, 5th Gear Luffy jumps into battle or something like that. And at that time, I wasn't even interested in One Piece. But I've heard of it, so I was like, okay, I guess that's what 5th Gear Luffy looks like. So that was pretty funny. I just got spoiled randomly. But at that point, I guess it was kind of old, like a year old. So if you didn't know about 5th Gear, then that's kind of your fault. Let me see if I can find the ad. If I do find it, I'll play it. Speaking of 5th Gear, let's talk about that for a little bit. I'm one of those people that didn't really like 5th Gear at first. So when I saw it for the first time, I didn't really know what to expect. What I saw wasn't what I expected. But yeah, I didn't really like it at first. I thought it was a little bit too much. I was kind of like, you know, what's happening? But I did like what 5th Gear stood for. I did like that part, like, you know, it's about freedom and the warrior of liberation and how Luffy's only limited by his imagination. I thought that part was really cool. The part that I didn't like was the Looney Tunes stuff. I thought it was a little bit too much. That part was kind of like, you know, at first, right? At first. But after reading Egghead, I like everything about 5th Gear now. I like the really goofy aspect of 5th Gear and like all the creativity that happens when Luffy's in 5th Gear. I just think it's really cool now. It took me a little bit to warm up to it, but I like it now. 5th Gear is cool. Looks cool too. Oh yeah, best episode. The best episode has to be episode 1015. I'm sure everyone can agree on that. Oh my god. When I first watched that, I replayed the part leading up to Red Rock like 50 times. I kept watching it. I couldn't stop watching it. It was just so good. I love that part. Like everything with the music. Oh, speaking of music, I really like when they do that in One Piece when they play music in the background like We Are or We Go. Some of the parts I can remember is when they're going to Skypiea on the water spout, We Are plays. When they leave Alabasta and they're raising their fist, they play We Are. What else? Oh, episode 1015, they play the We Are instrumental. And what else? There's another one. Oh, the time skip when they return to Sabaody. I'm sure there's many more, but those are just the ones I can remember off the top of my head. The best One Piece chapter has to be chapter 1102, The Life of Kuma. The whole Kuma backstory was just really good and, you know, one of the really sad ones, and those chapters skyrocketed Kuma like way up for me. Like Kuma is easily one of my favorite characters now. My favorite part of chapter 1102 is towards the end when you can see Kuma growing up and he's running and everyone's calling his name. I just thought that part was really cool. I can't wait till the anime gets there. And I think that was the first chapter I teared up. Like actually teared up. I didn't think it was possible like reading something, but it happened. Power scaling. Let's talk about power scaling. I don't really care for power scaling. I think it's kind of dumb actually, but it's just fun to see like people's essays on why, you know, this character is stronger than that character, or you know, why the admirals are stronger than the emperors, just stuff like that. At the end of the day, I don't really care, right? If this character is stronger and this character, whatever, right? I don't partake in power scaling discourse. Something I want to mention is I just really like the whole world of One Piece. Like the whole structure, like how everything is. I like the balance. Like you got navy and like admirals, you got warlords that work with the government, and then you got emperors above the warlords, you got the 5 elders. I just really like the whole structure of it. It's just something I wanted to mention. I feel like that's why I really like One Piece. That structure is so cool. Like everyone has a counter, you know, technically. The One Piece live action. Once I got caught up, I watched episode 1 of the live action, and it was honestly pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I haven't watched the rest of the episodes, but from episode 1, everything seemed pretty good. I understand why the One Piece community was giving it its props and flowers. You know, not too shabby. Remember when I said the best part about being caught up with One Piece was being able to watch theory videos? My favorite One Piece YouTuber or theorist is the Hidden Island. I just really like how he does his videos, and his theories make sense. Like really make me sit there and ponder, or think like, oh, maybe he's right. I just really like his videos, and I think he's underrated in my opinion. Yeah, you should check him out. He probably doesn't need my shout out, but if you're looking for someone to watch, check out the hidden island. Oh yeah, something random. I didn't really know where to put it, but I knew One Piece was 1,000+ episodes, and that didn't deter me. It was actually more like a challenge. I don't know. I guess I just remembered something. Remember how I said that I didn't know anything about One Piece? I didn't know that the One Piece was like a real thing, or like, you know, I thought it was just a title, right? And when I found out that the One Piece hasn't been revealed or like shown, that got me like kind of more into it. And I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's gonna sound kind of weird, but like, I feel like I don't want to miss out for like something like I didn't even know like I was gonna like, but I want to be there when the One Piece gets revealed, whatever it is, right? I don't know, like, just a weird thought I just remembered. I don't know. That's kind of weird, right? Like, kind of like FOMO, like, oh, but like, I didn't even know I was gonna like it, but yeah. Remember how I said I preferred pre-time skip and like all that stuff? When I first watched One Piece, I skipped all the filler, and I really regret it. I really regret it because, you know, like, that's the stuff I like, and I should go back and watch it because, you know, why not? I didn't really like appreciate filler because I was trying to get through the story, right? So I would just not watch it, and a lot of it seems pretty good. Like, I would see clips on YouTube and I'll be like, why did I skip that? It seems really good and funny, and yeah, so I regret it. Oh yeah, another random thing, Senor Pink's backstory. I don't know, it was pretty good. That's it. Alright, so I don't mean to be that guy, that person, but I'm gonna just say it. I didn't even know Kid had fans. I don't know. I don't really like the character. I like Law. I think Law's pretty cool. But Kid, Kid doesn't look that cool. He actually looks kind of lame, but you know, like, that's someone's favorite character. I didn't even know he had fans, if I'm being honest, and you know, I just found that out recently because people were like defending Kid and like, oh, he deserves a 3 billion bounty. I don't think he deserves a 3 billion. If anything, like 2 billion. I think that's fair. I think Law does deserve the 3 billion, but or maybe bump up Luffy's bounty like 3.2. No, actually, maybe like 3.1 or something. Cause like, there's no way they're all equal. And I know bounties doesn't equal strength, but you know, just for the show or like just for the looks of it. This video was supposed to come out like 3 weeks ago. It's been a while. I've been really lazy, but yeah. Episode 1100. That was pretty good. You know, like, even more of a reason to like Fifth Gear. It just looked really cool, and Fifth Gear is really cool now. Oh, the chopper list. Okay, let's do that real quick before I end. I don't know, I might cut this part out. Let's do a really quick chopper drip tier list. That's a tongue twister. Alright, so where's the original? This chop, oh my god. S. Top. That's so good. Pre-time skip chopper, so good. What do I like? What is this, Alabasta? That's pretty good. This one's pretty good too, with the jacket. What else? Oh, this one's good too. Let's put that above this one. I haven't really seen a lot of these. Let's just put this one because it's pre-time skip. I've never seen this one. What is this one? For some reason, I really like this one. I don't know why. I really like this one. This one's cool. This is the only time skip thing I like about Chopper. This picture. This one's good too. Alright, that's it. Since when has it been the general consensus that Syrup Village is like horrible? Because I really like Syrup Village. And sure, it's not above Arlong Park, Baratie, I guess you call it Romance Down, like the Luffy part. It's not above that, obviously, right? The way I've heard people talk about Syrup Village is like, it's boring, it's horrible. I'm thinking like, what? I like Syrup Village. The stuff with Kuro, stuff with Kaya, like just like Usopp. I like Usopp. What I've been reading and seeing people say about Usopp is like, people just like find them boring and like the worst Straw Hat. I'm like, what? And like how Syrup Village is bad. And I'm thinking, I really like Syrup Village. Like, it's good. Like the stuff when he's like, don't tell the villagers, tell them nothing happened. Like, that's cool, you know? You get the going merry too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I keep hearing that. I like Syrup Village. I like all of it. And I guess it kind of ties into, because I was talking to someone, right, the other day, and because I was thinking, when did I like One Piece? Like, when did it click? And I was thinking, like, right from the start, like everything from East Blue. And I was seeing people say, like, you know, like the joke, the meme, whatever, is like, oh, you have to get through 300 episodes until it gets good, or, you know, 1,000 episodes, all that. And I was thinking, what? Did people not like it in the beginning? And I was talking to someone and I asked them, when did you like One Piece? And they said, right from the start, like from the beginning. And I was like, yeah, me too. But there's one thing that's very similar between the both of us. And it's that we don't really watch anime like that. Like, I guess I'll tell you what I've watched. I've watched Dragon Ball Super. I'm barely watching Z right now, or Kai right now. I'm barely watching Kai right now. I've never watched the original GT or, you know, Dragon Ball Z. I've never watched it. I've only watched Dragon Ball Super. So I watched Dragon Ball Super, Death Note, and Kuroko's Basketball. That's all I've watched. And the person I was talking to too, they don't really watch it, like anime. But for some reason, like One Piece clicked for them. Like, they love it. That's why, like, when both of us first watched One Piece, I don't know how they felt, but for me, I was like mind blown. Like this is so crazy. Like, this is so good. And like, it's like magic, pretty much. Like, it's crazy how good this is. Everyone was right. And like, this is really good. You have to watch it. And I was thinking, is that because like we don't really have anything to base it off? You know, like other people that have watched One Piece and they didn't like it, they probably watched all the other popular animes, right? Like what, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto, Dragon Ball, My Hero, One Punch Man, JoJo's, you know, like all this really popular stuff. And we've never watched that, right? So our first time watching One Piece was like mind-blowing, because this is our first time watching something like that. And like, let me give you an example. Like the stuff with Shanks and Luffy, something similar like that has probably happened in these other shows. So when people saw that moment, they were like, okay, you know, maybe that's why I kind of gas up One Piece, because I haven't watched these other shows, so I have nothing to compare it to. Yeah, like I picked up One Piece randomly, like why not, right? And I love it. Oh yeah, so another thing is, like, I think getting into One Piece is easier now than ever before, because I was thinking about how like again, I'm caught up, so I can finally watch all these videos about One Piece. And I was watching how people got into One Piece. A lot of the stories were similar. Like, they would watch it like way back then when it was like still like pre-time skip. And I was thinking, back then, if you didn't like this arc or it didn't get your attention, what could you do? It's ongoing, so you can't skip the arc and go to a new arc or whatever. Back then, if you didn't like it, that's it. You have to wait. But right now, in the present time, if you don't like this arc, you can skip it. And I don't know why you would skip it, right? But because the show's like almost like kind of done, and you can skip around if you don't like this part or this part's boring or whatever, right? So I think getting into One Piece is easier now than ever before, because it's all there. The one thing I'm looking forward to the most would have to be Shanks and Luffy, pretty much. I guess that's everybody's answer. That moment's gonna be so crazy. And I saw this theory where people were saying that Blackbeard is gonna kill Shanks, and we're gonna be robbed of that moment with Shanks and Luffy because he's dead, because Blackbeard killed him. And it actually got me mad, because I'm like, you know, no way, that can't happen. If it does happen, I'll be mad. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. I want to throw my hat in the ring and talk about how One Piece is gonna end, or how I would like it to end. So we're gonna have to use our imagination for a little bit. So Luffy's back in Fuchsia Village, and you see him walking. And over his left shoulder, he has this big white bag full of gold, jewels, valuable artifacts, treasure maps, you know, anything that holds value pretty much. And in his right hand, he's holding the One Piece. This is banking off that the One Piece is something you can just pick up and carry around, which I don't think it is, but you know, let me dream. Alright, so anyways, you see him walking with the bag and the One Piece, and you're thinking, oh, where is he going? Well, he's going to Party's bar, the bar where Makino works at. Luffy places the bag and the One Piece on the counter, and he says to Makino, I hope this is enough to pay off my treasure tab. Makino's like, whoa, this is too much. This is more than enough. I didn't think you're serious about paying off the treasure tab. You know, like all that stuff. Luffy cuts her off and he's like, well, see ya. He walks towards the swinging doors. He does the hand thing so he doesn't turn around and say bye. And that's the last we see of Luffy. Fuchsia Village becomes the new log town. Everyone goes there to see where Luffy, the king of the pirates, was born and where he grew up and all that. It becomes this really big tourist attraction. And in Party's bar, Makino has the One Piece hanging right behind her. And I know what you're thinking. What's stopping someone from going to Fuchsia Village and just taking the One Piece? And to that I say, do you really want to mess with the king of the pirates village? Maybe people will think twice before doing that. So what do y'all think? Did I cuck or did I cuck? I think I cucked. I think I cucked a little bit. Just a little bit. No, but in all seriousness, I don't think the One Piece is something you can just pick up and carry around. But yeah, I hope Oda does something with that treasure tab thing. Like, One Piece isn't really about treasure anymore, if you really think about it. It was in the beginning, but now the Straw Hat crew doesn't really take treasure from other people and, you know, use that treasure to do stuff because, you know, they don't really need it anymore. But I hope that concept comes back, like fighting other pirates and stealing their treasure and then, you know, but like it hasn't been about treasure for a long time, so I kind of hope like Oda does something with that. I'm probably looking too deep into that treasure tab thing. You know, Makino's just being nice, you know, and just like humoring Luffy. But like, I hope he does surprise her and, you know, with all his treasure and the One Piece and all that stuff. I think, I just think it would work for like a good moment. And, you know, the ending, maybe. Closing thoughts. I really like One Piece. I really like it. Like, I love it. And I could say I finally understand why everyone's so crazy about One Piece. It's so good. It's really good. The whole story and everything. I get it. I understand. And I recommend it. I think everyone should watch it or try to watch it at least, or read it, whatever you want to do. It's really good. And yeah,